Hi guys, we're at the RNC Young Turks. Katie Halper, you guys know Katie Halper, host of the Katie Halper Show on WBAI, which is very logical, and also covering the convention here for Raw Story, also good friends of ours. So Katie's a Bernie bro.
I am.
So I want to ask you, from that perspective, does this RNC make you want to vote for Hillary Clinton more?
It's like the best pro-Hillary PR that I've ever seen is being here. Like you can't, all of her surrogates, I think that actually this can undo all the terrible work that her surrogates did against her when they were trying to be working for her.
That's right.
And for me, that was the best Bernie PR because the Bernie smears drove me crazy. I liked his policies more, obviously, but that just kind of fueled my own fire. And so again, we're seeing this phenomenon where the people who are going after someone, depending on who they are, when they're total putzes, if you will, they make you very sympathetic to that person. So, you know, if I saw Ted Cruz going after Hillary Clinton for her policy vis-a-vis Honduras, I probably wouldn't be as revved up about it. But since they're all saying she needs to go to jail for things less serious than many crimes Republicans commit, and because the buttons here say, you know, KFC Hillary special, two thighs, two small breasts. It's like all the misogyny. This is the misogyny they claimed was happening from Bernie. I'm like, thank God for small favors. Now we get to see misogyny, what it really looks like. This is what it is.
Yeah. The speech that bothered me the most was Chris Christie's. What bothered you the most out of all these speeches and et cetera that pushed you again more towards Hillary Clinton? For me, the Chris Christie one, because there was a bloodthirst to the guilty chance and lock her up that, like, viscerally, like, really irritated me.
Right.
Is way too soft.
Right,
you know,
disturbed you?
Yeah, disturbed me, and it felt emotional and guttural and on all the wrong things.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I know. It's funny. I just love the idea. I keep having this fantasy someone's going to be like, the coup in Honduras is on your hands. The blood of Honduras. I'm like, that's not going to happen though.
Because that's all the things she's wrong about, they love.
Exactly, right?
That's why they have to make up stuff about her.
Exactly. So, well, yeah, Chris Christie also, it's especially annoying because Bridgegate, dude, your hands aren't clean either. Also, it's annoying because he's not a total lunatic, right? So we kind of know that he either knows better or he's really that misogynist, which I actually think is true. He's such a bully, a weird, abusive bully. That was disturbing to me. I think the biggest lie for me, though, so far was when Antonio Sabato Jr. said that he was willing to risk his career to speak at the RNC, and that, of course, implies he has a career. And that was just a total, I mean, that was one of the biggest lies we've seen so far, ironically. Yeah. But it's funny. For so long, recently, I've been engaged in all these, you know, intra-left arguments about Bernie and Hillary, and it feels like, oh, we're back to the whole Democrat versus Republican thing.
Yeah, it's almost cleansing.
It is. It's like it really reminds us of how much closer we are to the people. I don't want to minimize the very important struggle that occurred, I think, and hopefully the new Democratic Party that's emerging. But it is interesting that I'm now allies with my former allies again.
That's right. And at the same time, Katie, as you were talking, I was thinking, I'm a little worried that when we go to the DNC, that they're going to ruin it. Right?
Yeah, that's true, right.
Instead of taking this momentum and emphasizing the similarities and et cetera, that they're going to go back to their old ways. Right. And we're going to walk out of the DNC like, oh, they did it again.
Or my fear is that, because I think that we will be holding, hopefully, my hope is that we'll hold Hillary's feet to the fire in a nonviolent, non-misogynist way, in a way that we didn't with Obama. And I think the reason we'll do that is because Bernie Sanders' presence in the campaign really woke people up and showed people that you can be a viable candidate. You may not win, but you're viable, and when you're way to the left, right? And I think that is going to make it a lot easier for people to kind of have higher expectations of Hillary Clinton. So my worry is that the misogyny and hatred we see here may mute our more progressive instincts of pushing back. So I'm worried about that. But I also just want to say that if people want to look at this, I wrote something for Raw Story.
Hold on, before you get to that, because I wanted to ask you about that. But one quick addition to that is that, yeah, you know, I think the right way for them to do it, which I suspect they won't do because of their ego and they genuinely dislike some progressives, is that be open to it and go, hey, instead of using the Trump cruise model, say, hey, you guys, we like that you're pushing us to the left. We want to go to the left.
Right. That's
so
what
thank
amazed
you.
me about the responses to Bernie Sanders pushing the platform to the left, making him more progressive. When I saw progressives complaining about him because he was doing that, I was like, "Psst, guys, you're supposed to pretend that you like this.
That's right.
Like, you're not supposed to come out and say you don't care about the TPP or minimum wage." And my favorite argument from them is it's all symbolic, it doesn't matter. I'm like, well, then why is Neertanden fighting tooth and nail to oppose stronger language on the TPP or the $15 minimum wage? It's not a good look.
I can't help but ask one more question about the Democrats, which is tomorrow Hillary Clinton is set to announce her VP pick. Is it hubris if she goes with Kaine or Vilsack and says, I don't need a progressive. I'm going to go with standard, boring, corporatist Democrat.
Right. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? I'm torn over, because part of me thinks, like, at least she's going to be honest about it, right? No window dressing there, like, no concession to progressives. But part of me thinks, like, she owes it to progressives to at least make a gesture.
Yeah, it's not about owing. And I don't particularly care who the vice president is, because it's not going to have much of an effect.
Unless it's Dick Cheney.
Yeah, unless it's Elizabeth Warren and she's actively pushing every day because you know she would, or Bernie Sanders because he would. Perez even, who's supposed to be progressive, I don't know much about him to be fair, but I don't see him as a guy who's pushing for change, although he's on the right side of things. But
the left side.
To me, the bigger problem is if you take somebody like Vilsack, I think they'll pick Kaine, but either way, you're saying, I got this thing locked up.
You're saying because she doesn't need, she's
I don't
confident
need the progressive
enough about,
base. I don't need anything.
Right.
It's Trump. I'm going to win.
Right.
I'll pick a super
Right.
boring, uninteresting candidate who's not
White
going to help
dude.
me at
Right.
all.
Right.
Because, I'm going to win anyway.
Right.
To me, that's a bad harbinger.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, and that's a bad one because you're afraid that it shows that she's kind of off on how possible a Trump election is.
That's right. I think it's very possible.
Me too. It's kind of scary.
So now let's talk about Trump. He's got a big speech tonight.
Big speech tonight.
You got any suggestions for him?
I do. Trump, I know you're watching. I know you're a huge fan, tremendous, terrific fan of the Young Turks.
You're always winning with Katie Halper.
Always. So I wanted to give you some suggestions because Melania plagiarized from Michelle Obama, which was so appropriate because we're in the city of Cleveland, the birthplace of rock and roll. So what better way to honor those roots than by being a white person stealing the words of a black person? But in case he wants to do something that's not from the Obama family, I thought that he could do some lines from like Silence of the Lambs. A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. The lyrics from Hot Stepper. You know that song, Here Comes the Hot Stepper. A Shylock monologue about if you prick us, do we not bleed. Some Taylor Swift. And, of course, the Father Figure by George Michael. I will be your father figure, put your tiny hand in mine. That is when he is introduced by Ivanka. They can hug, and then before she exits the stage, he can sing that song. That would move
Those
me.
are all solid suggestions. I know that Donald Trump is reading Raw Story.
He is.
As we speak, to read Katie's article for those. I just talked to a conservative who was hopeful that he was going to give a healing speech tonight.
Healing to white nationalists, I think. That would be,
I'm like, what is that hope based on?
Yeah, it'll be an olive branch to David Duke.
So we'll see. We'll find out if he does that or not. We'll see if he listens to Katie or not. All right, everybody
Donald,
check out.
my fellow New Yorker. We have a bond.
That's right. Everybody check out the Katie Halper Show on WBAI and check out our articles on Raw Story. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you on the
And we're going to do a
Young
drinking
Turks.
game tonight, so look out for that.
Yes,
You'll get really drunk,
They have
though.
some moonshine here.
Oh, perfect.
Not here, but outside of here.
Got it.
Okay, so
I'll follow the
connect on
moonshine
that.
symbol.
All right, we'll be back.
Thanks.